Hey there everyone, I'm Meteorologist Hannah Fink and welcome to Next Weather. We're going to get right into it. We have a lot to talk about today in regards to the winter weather alerts issued for our area. So that's going to be the most important thing we talk about because of the cold snap we are in right now. So I created this presentation to kind of give you an idea of everything going on in the forecast. But the first thing I want to talk about is your freeze checklist. What to think about with these winter weather conditions. This is the 4 P's we talk about on air all the time. Pipes, pets, plants, people, and then additionally space heater safety is some of the things you want to consider during this time. So with freezing temperatures on the way, please always remember these 4 P's to protect yourself, your home, and family. The first, the most important, is people. Check on elderly neighbors, young children, and anyone who may not have reliable heat. Make sure everyone has a warm place to stay and limit time outdoors to prevent frostbite. We have additional information on our Fox 10 website and our app to talk about heat shelters or cold safety shelters across the area. Another thing you need to remember, the next P, pets, the second most important. If it's too cold for you, it is too cold for them. They can feel it just like we can. Make sure to bring pets indoors and provide extra bedding. Outdoor animals need a dry shelter, unfrozen water, and added food to maintain energy. The third P, plants. Cover sensitive plants with sheets or frost cloth, not plastic, and bring potted plants inside or into a garage where temperatures are warmer. And the final P, pipes. Protect exposed outdoor pipes and faucets with insulation or towels wrapped in plastic. And when you're indoors, open your cabinet doors under the sinks and let the faucets drip slowly to prevent freezing. And one more cold weather reminder, a lot of people are going to be using them. Use space heaters safely. Here's some things to remind you or things to remember as you're using them. Make sure to keep your space heater at least 3 feet away from anything that can burn, like curtains, beddings, or furniture. Plug heaters directly into the wall, never into a power strip or an extension cord, and turn heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. So what we're going to be talking about in Next Weather as a whole, here are your headlines of what we're tracking. We have a red flag warning today, a freeze warning that is going to be in effect tonight, a cold weather advisory also taking place tonight. But if you don't like the cold, warmer temperatures are on the way midweek. But the first one I want to talk about is the fact that we are under a red flag warning today for the western panhandle of Florida, southwestern and south central Alabama, and southeast Mississippi. This warning is issued when critical fire weather conditions are either happening or expected soon. Today we have all 3 ingredients for rapid fire spread: strong winds, very low humidity, and extremely dry vegetation. Northwest winds will range between 15 and 20 miles per hour, with gusts reaching up to 30 miles per hour. Relative humidity will drop as low as 23%, making the air very dry. Keep in mind the threshold for this is 25%, so already 2 degrees below that, and this will make it easier for fires to start and spread. The National Weather Service warns that any fire that develops will catch and spread quickly. Outdoors burning is not recommended. Even a small spark could lead to a fast-moving fire. Here's a look at our dew points right now. You can see how dry they are. Keep in mind the threshold for the dry category on our Muggy meter is 55 degrees and below. Well, we're well into the 20s. We saw the teens today. We'll slowly increase some of that moisture, but either way, we're still staying in the dry category. That is not going to change. But today specifically, I'll show you at the very beginning. Look how dry we were. Let's go back forward. And then here we go. There's the winds. And then here's how dry we were. See that brown shading there? There is the teens right there. So as we continue to go on through our week, we're slowly going to increase a little bit of our moisture levels, but we're still not going to feel it. We're still going to be dry. So here's how you can prevent fires, avoid outdoor burning, including fire pits and burn piles, properly dispose of cigarettes, and don't throw them out of your car windows. Secure trailer chains so they don't drag or create sparks, and avoid parking vehicles on dry grass. Heat from exhaust can ignite it. And if you see smoke or fire, call 911 immediately. Fast responding can make a big difference. The red flag warning remains in effect until 6 p.m. this evening. Would not be surprised if we saw another one issued into the early hours tomorrow morning, but for right now, it is in effect until 6 p.m. There is not another one at this time. Continue avoiding outdoor burning though until humidity levels do improve. That is the biggest thing to keep in mind. I just would not be burning at all at this time. We are staying relatively quite dry, and we've been dry at this point. So let's take a look at how chilly our day was today. As you can see on our 10-hour wind chill, temperatures are falling fast, which is part of the reason we have the alerts we have. Now, the first one we're going to be talking about is a freeze warning that remains in effect from 6 p.m. this evening. That's when it starts, and it'll be until 8 a.m. Tuesday. That is why we have a storm tracker alert day declared. So sub-freezing temperatures are expected across our area, dropping as low as 23 degrees north of I-10 and as low as 28 degrees south of I-10. These temperatures are cold enough to kill crops, damage sensitive vegetation, and burst outdoor plumbing if not protected. Be sure to bring pets indoors, cover or move plants inside, and insulate exposed pipes or hoses. When you're indoors, open your cabinet doors under the sinks to allow warm air to circulate and let faucets drip slightly to prevent flooding. Temperatures won't rise above freezing until sunrise tomorrow morning. So here's our lows tomorrow. You can see mid-20s in our more inland spots, closer to the 30s in our more inland coastal communities such as Mobile and Bay Minette. And then when you get to our coastal communities, we're in the 30s, but we're right at that below freezing threshold. 32 degrees is below freezing, keep in mind. And then wind gusts have consistently been known across the area today due to atmospheric temperatures creating a gradient. So what I mean by that, it's almost like a wind tunnel increasing the wind speeds and gusts. So it's making them more confined, which is why they have increased. They have nowhere to go and they have no space to spread out. So today we saw those gusts of nearly 30 miles per hour like we saw on the previous slide, but it'll slowly decrease into the overnight hours of around 20 miles per hour. But tomorrow morning, they'll still be gusting near about 15 miles per hour, as you can see, maybe a little bit lower, we're about 10 to 15. It's still quite gusty, but not terrible compared to what we've seen today. Here is a look at our cold weather criteria though. So our inland spots are close to it, but not quite at the threshold to be considered for the cold weather advisory at this time. But our coastal communities in Mobile and Baldwin County, as well as Northwest Florida, are under a cold weather advisory that goes into effect starting at midnight and lasting through 8 a.m. Tuesday. Wind chills around the I-10 corridor could drop to 20 degrees along the coastline. Wind chills could fall below 25 degrees. So with wind chills this cold, hypothermia becomes possible with prolonged exposure. Make sure you wear layers, gloves, as well as hats, and limit your time outdoors early Tuesday morning. Do not forget about your pets too. Remember, if they feel it, you can feel it too. So as you see, our wind chill forecast shows continuous decreasing in our wind chill values, or how we feel the cold temperatures on our skin. Near this coastline especially, we can see wind chills as into the lower 20s, and they seem to be consistent across the area in this threshold. Here it's about 5 a.m. Tuesday. Look at that. We could see 23 for a wind chill in Gulf Shores, 28 in Destin, 22 in Mobile, 25 in Monroeville, and 26 in Leakesville. But if you don't like the cold, look at this. We have a high pressure system on the way to push out that Arctic blast and increase our temperatures, basically coming to our rescue. So we don't feel the cold for too long, but we do have to brave it for another day. So that's one thing to keep in mind. That blue there is that Arctic air that came all the way down from Canada into our area. But here's a look at our 7-day forecast. See the red there? That's basically showing that today was a storm tracker alert day. That's all that means for our Veterans Day. So the storm tracker alert criteria ends at 8 a.m. tomorrow. You're not going to see the red flashing box. You're not going to hear the words or see the words on anything. That is when it officially ends. So our 7-day forecast shows temperatures increasing to the 70s and some days being above average. We usually see temperatures around 73 degrees plus or minus a degree or two this time of year, but we're keeping an eye on a system that could be bringing thunderstorms to the area early next week. So these are the things you need to keep in mind. Make sure you stay with the Storm Tracker team on all social media platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can follow me, Meteorologist Hannah Fink, Meteorologist Nicholas Herboso, Meteorologist Matt Barentine, and also Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith for updates. We'll also be pushing app videos and notifications on our Fox 10 Weather app. You'll see stuff also in our broadcast shows as well. We'll be keeping you updated here with as much information as we get and keeping you prepared for this winter weather. Other than that, thank you so much for joining me for Next Weather, and we'll see you tomorrow.